Feng Shui can and should be incorporated as soon as possible. So meaning from the choice of site to the orientation of the building, down to the floor plan, to the furnishings. The principles of Feng Shui, it's all about creating a harmonized home and creating a home that's going to bring joy and love and peace to whoever is in that space. And I think those are things that everybody wants. And so Feng Shui, when you study it, actually a lot of the principles of Feng Shui, a lot of good designers, they use those principles without realizing that it is Feng Shui. So you know, for example, having a good flow of traffic in the space. You know, you don't want to have any really cramped, narrow hallways, and you don't really want any like large empty areas where you're going to feel really exposed and vulnerable. So Feng Shui can help you kind of control the flow of traffic so that you've got a nice, even flow of energy. So if you think about the traffic in your home being like water, for example, you want it gently dispersed throughout the home rather than a full-on flood, which would be an empty room with not enough furniture in it. And you don't want it really cramped into a tiny little trickle, which would be like a tiny hallway with like a lot of furniture in it where you're like squeezing in to get through to another room. So, I mean, Feng Shui it's amazing, and it's been used for thousands of years. And it's very effective, and there are a lot of very simple principles that people can implement.
So you mentioned there that you want to avoid like really empty spaces. So how would you be able to balance like an open concept room?
I would balance it through furnishings. So even if you have an open concept space and there isn't a wall, you can designate areas like with the furnishings. So with a large rug, here's a breakfast nook, and then with another set of furnishings, here's the living room. And so it just psychologically, when you look at it and when you're living in this space, you still feel like there's a separation, but then you still have all of the light and air throughout the space. And I love an open concept home. I think they're great. And you know, I think it's not that hard to create some kind of designation. Also, like, you know, you could put up a bookcase or some plants, you know, shelves of plants. They're really easy ways of just creating some separation without having things completely blocked off.
Do you have any more room specific tweaks or tips that builders or remodelers could use to bring a sense of balance to their home?
In terms of colors or just paint, I always like to think of dark colors on the bottom, lighter colors up top. So whether or not that's in terms of furnishings or painting the walls, um, this combination of darker on the bottom and lighter on the top, it really helps you to feel grounded into the earth. It's like you have earth at the bottom and then you have heaven up top. So you're grounded into the earth, and then the lighter colors up top help you expand and feel more light and feel more space while still feeling very stable. So if you're ever in a room that perhaps has dark walls and a dark ceiling and then light floors, if you pay attention to how you feel, you'll feel a little disoriented, like you'll feel less stable, less grounded, because it's almost like you're disappearing into the floor, you know, like the floor is not holding you. So it's, I think that's a good one, and very easy. It's something that most people can implement. And it doesn't have to mean like a huge change, like black floors and white walls. I mean, it could be the slightest difference in shade, but that can really make a difference in a person's well-being. So it is really nice to get an outside eye, because a lot of the times we're so accustomed to the way that we're living, we don't even notice it anymore. And we don't realize how easily things could be improved. But yeah, I would say flow of traffic, you know, opening up pinch spaces, I think is a big one. And one way that you can do that very easily is through mirrors. Mirrors will help bring in light and air. And then also there are just so many amazing designs out there. They're also decorative. So I like to put big mirrors in small bathrooms or in hallways. Those are very easy tips.
Yeah, those are some really great tips, especially I like the dark colors on the bottom, light colors on the top. It almost like mirrors nature where the
Exactly,
grass is green,
exactly.
the sky is blue.
Yeah,
I guess it
yeah,
just feel natural then.
exactly. Yeah, and that's what I really love about feng shui is it's all about nature, and it's about also animal instinct. Like I look at a lot of animals and how they behave and the sites that they choose, for example, to sleep in. Like they're going to choose a soft, cozy, nest like area. They're not going to plop themselves down in the middle of a white, cold room where they're totally exposed. So, if that's how they are choosing to sleep and that's how they feel protected, like, isn't that how we as humans would feel as well? Like, I feel like sometimes humans get out of touch with our primal needs. And for example, we might think, oh, like, yeah, like it looks so cool to have like an empty white bedroom with like nothing in it. In reality, maybe it doesn't really make you feel that safe, or it doesn't make you feel very zen.
Well, I think we can all get behind more sleep. So